Can we please welcome Hannah?
At life, I really want to be a failure. I hope that I don't achieve anything. When was the last time you actually heard someone say that? Probably never. That's because no one actually wants to be a failure. Instead, everyone wants to be successful in something. Everyone wants to succeed in something. But how? How can one actually obtain the status of being successful? Now, when I say success, usually the first thing that comes to mind is financial success. You know, if only I had more money, then I'd be successful. The definition of success is usually something to do with financial success. And while that is true, I think we often forget that success isn't just limited to financial success. There's actually so many other areas in our life that we can actually be successful in. Yet why do we never focus in on those? So the title of my talk today is actually How to Truly Be Successful. And I have to admit, I am not standing here telling you guys this based off my own experience. On the contrary. But lately I've been wrestling with this term of success, and how does it look in my eyes? How does it actually look? You see, a number of years ago, I actually was a nanny in London. And I was a nanny for a high net worth family. And often I asked myself, was it worth the heartache and the pain that I actually went through? And my answer is every single time, yes, it was. Because it taught me this one crucial lesson, this lesson that I've learned and I have continued to learn from. And so as I alluded to before, I worked for a high net worth family. And high net worth basically just means a very wealthy family, meaning multiple houses, cars, a pull-out chest freezer drawer of Ben & Jerry's ice cream. That high net worth. And the job seemed like a dream. You know, it was a pristine 5-story home in central London, looking after 3 school-age children. We had staff to handle every single responsibility. We had a chef, we had a driver. And I worked with this family for 10 months. And initially I was super excited. But I soon discovered that the children, despite having every single thing that they could ever ask for, were deeply unhappy. And I remember this one day so clearly because the 9-year-old boy, he looked at me with these big eyes and he said, "Hannah, I didn't ask for any of this. I don't want it. I don't want any of it." And it wasn't until that moment right there that I truly realized something. I realized something that you're often told, but you don't really understand it until you experience it for yourself. That money doesn't buy you happiness. And while it is true that a new handbag or a private jet might actually bring you temporary joy, but does it actually give you guaranteed lasting fulfillment? Does it? It doesn't equal success. And we often strive for success, but it's essential to ensure that in the pursuit it isn't at the expense of these other important areas in our life. True success actually encompasses more than just financial wealth. Okay, so if finances doesn't equal success, then what does? You see, I always thought there was just this one element, one thing that equals success, but I was so wrong. There's actually 5. And it includes financial success, of course, totally. But it also includes spiritual success, social success, mental success, and lastly, physical success. And the lesson from my experience is that life's true successes involves an equal balance of these components. And you could say that my former employers were the most successful people, but were they truly successful if their children were so deeply unhappy? You see, often we focus so much on being financially successful, but we may actually lack in other elements of success in our life. Showing that focusing solely on financial success can actually neglect what truly matters. You see, when we're successful in these areas, we're healthy in these areas. And I actually like to coin this term soul health, or health for the soul. And this term essentially incorporates every single thing you need to know in order to be successful and live a successful life. So when I say health, usually the first thing that comes to people's mind is mental health or physical health, which is so true. But you also have financial health, you have spiritual health, and you also have social health. And don't worry, I will go into depth later on of these. But I actually want to do an exercise with you all. I want you all across the room to close your eyes. Everyone close your eyes. I want you to picture an empty room, a white room. And in that room is a table. It has 4 legs and a tabletop. I want you to imagine every single thing you've ever dreamt of balanced on that table. You know, the Prada bag that you've always wanted, the business, the house, the latest iPhone 16 Pro Max, successful business, everything balanced on top of that table. With your eyes still closed, I want you to know that it's totally fine to have all of that. Totally fine. And go for it. I will literally be cheering you on from the sidelines. Go for it. But I want to draw your attention to that table. With your eyes still closed. You see, there are 5 very crucial elements to this table. You have 4 legs and you have a tabletop. Now, the left leg closest to us resembles spiritual health, something very, very personal, but really important. Something that helps us keep a proper perspective on life. Now, the left leg furthest to us resembles social health, your relationships with your friends and your family. How are you fostering those? With your eyes still closed. The right leg closest to us resembles mental health. Are you talking to someone? How are you managing your mental health? Are you journaling? The right leg furthest to us resembles your financial health, your success financially. How are you doing with your personal finances? Are you budgeting? Are you spending less than what you earn? Now, finally, the tabletop resembles your physical health. How are you caring for your body? Are you eating the right foods? Are you getting good exercise? Are you taking a day off to rest? With your eyes still closed, keep picturing the table. Keep picturing all of those things. The Prada bag, the iPhone 16 Pro Max, the house, the business. What would happen if one of those legs snapped? What would happen to all of those items balanced on top? To be honest, they probably will still stay standing, but it would be weak. And this is where the danger happens. You seem to think, oh yeah, no, my life is great. Yeah, social health isn't great, but no, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. But that's where the danger happens. You see, it's not going to last. When pressure is applied, the weight of everything will slowly weaken that table. Everything you have worked for will come crashing down. Everything you have worked for will be gone. Now open your eyes. Now can you see the importance of those 5 elements in your life? That success isn't just financial. How can you hold up all of these materialistic things if you don't have a strong table? And we saw this through my experience as a nanny, that while you may think that my high net worth family, my bosses were successful, they weren't. Not in my eyes. You see, I find it quite fascinating, actually. I feel like this world we live in, everyone wants to feel fulfilled. Everyone wants to feel meaning, feel purpose. They want to feel something. We want to find those answers. We want to live a life that's fulfilling and purposeful and meaningful. But often we stand in the mirror, we look at ourselves and we just feel this deep, empty void. We're searching for anything to fulfill us, anything. We're told what we need to do, yet why do we never do it? Like we're told, okay, we're told we need 7 hours of sleep, yet why do we stay up till 1 a.m. scrolling on TikTok? Or we're told the importance of physical exercise, yet why is it that when we go home we just watch TV instead? Or we're told the importance of hanging out with friends and having good relationships, but why do we spend our weekends alone? Gary Brecker actually said, we're living in a comfort crisis. We are solely suffocating ourselves to death with comfort by avoiding the things that are good for our health. Aging is our aggressive pursuit of comfort. And I feel like there's this pull towards bettering ourselves. Yet it can feel so unattainable that we fold and we revert and we retreat back to comfort. Meanwhile, we're just slowly deteriorating. Most of the time we fall into these traps over and over again is because we're not actually caring for our soul. We haven't cared for those 5 elements in our life. We read books about healthy eating and the life and a guide to living a more fulfilled life. But that's just one element. That's just one element in our equation of success, in our equation of soul health. Now, another area that we often don't really talk about is social health. And remember this quote from Gary Brecker about comfort. You see, when we become comfortable, we become complacent. I'm too busy. I'm just going to spend the weekend alone. I totally understand that I've spent the last 19 weekends alone, but no, it's totally fine. Or hey, would love you to come out for dinner. Oh, no, it's fine. I'm super busy. You're super busy when in reality you're just going to go home and watch TikTok for 5 hours. And I'm not saying by any means that you need to be spending 24/7 with people. The introverts right now are probably just sighing with relief. But who has found that they've actually fallen into this trap? They've fallen into this trap of saying no to meeting up with friends or not taking the initiative to meeting that person because it's too comfortable not to. And remember, comfort equals complacency. And we live in a society that claims we're the most connected generation, yet it is so far from the truth. We sit behind our screens, we're claiming that we're socializing by messaging someone, yet we're growing increasingly lonelier. Okay, great, cool. So what do? Create your community. There's this really cool idea, and it's called the +1 dinner party idea. And what you do is you invite your close friends to a dinner party, and they actually have to invite one person that you don't know to the dinner party. And right there, you've just doubled your friendship circle, right there. And keep doing that. Keep inviting people. Keep adding people into your friendship group. Keep expanding. Because remember, comfort equals complacency. And you see there's this deep desire towards feeling connected. And there's actually so many incredible health benefits too. You see, when you're connected, you actually have lower rates of anxiety and depression. And with that, you actually have higher self-esteem and stronger relationships. And when you've got stronger relationships, you have a stronger immune system, which can actually help you fight diseases, which means it can help you live a longer life. But I want you to remember that social health is just one element in our equation of soul health, in our equation of success. So let's look at the others. Now, mental health. Mental health is so important in our equation of soul health. Did you actually know that our brains can't actually tell the difference between what is reality and what is not? And this kind of makes sense because, for example, if you're thinking of a really stressful situation like public speaking, regardless if you imagine it or if you actually experience it, you're actually going to experience the same amount of stress either way. And Dr. David Hamilton did a really fascinating study where he took 2 sets of groups and he asked the set of volunteers to actually play a simple sequence of piano notes for 5 consecutive days. And they scanned their brain at the very end of every day. And they scanned the area in relation to motor movement. And then they asked the second group to just imagine playing those 5 notes. And they also scanned their brains. And they found at the very end of those studies that both groups scored the exactly same amount of brain activity in relation to motor movement. Meaning that your brain literally cannot tell the difference between what is real and what is not. And we can actually use this in life to actually improve the quality of our life. If we start to imagine success, remember, success is all those 5 things, not just one, then we will actually be able to start to see it in our life. Start to speak more positively about your body. Start to think more positively. Now, another element in our equation of soul health is actually spiritual health. Now, spiritual health is such an important aspect because it provides a sense of purpose and meaning. It helps us understand our place in this world, helps us navigate life's challenges as well. It's ultimately known to actually improve the quality of our life because what it does is actually helps us connect our mind, our body, and our soul all together. Now, another leg is financial health. When was the last time you actually sat down with your friends and you went over your finances? You see, finances are so taboo. It's kind of like mental health, but people need to start talking about it. So we need to start getting conversations going. Conversations so we know what the norm is. We know what we should be aiming at. We know what we should be aiming for. We can learn from the people around us. How are they saving? You see, being weighed down by the constant stress and pressures of money issues can actually lead to detrimental impacts. And the Howden Group actually talks about the most common causes is the burden of stress, of debt. This can actually lead to experiencing anxiety and depression and a sense of hopelessness, which can actually lead to physical symptoms as well, which is muscle aches and headaches and stomach problems. You see, financial health is ensuring that we're looking after our finances. Ensuring that we're saving a certain amount, we're putting aside money, and we're spending less than what we earn. Financial success doesn't mean being rich. It means us actually looking after our finances, making sure that we have control over our finances. Now, this leads me to physical health. Now, physical health plays such an instrumental part in our equation of soul health. Maintaining a body that is physically able to withstand what life throws at us is so vital. And within physical health, actually, it's not just working out, it's also what we eat and also our sleep. How are you caring for your body? There's actually a really cool quote that really drove this question home for me. And it is, if you switched bodies with the person you love the most for an entire year, how would you take care of their mind and their body? Knowing that you'd have to give it back to them at the end of the year, how would you take care of the person you love the most? Now do that for you. You see, society is getting really good at plaster fixes, the rescue at the bottom of the cliff. And we're desperately seeking for help before it's too late, but all of our resources are going towards the bottom of the cliff. But we need to look at health holistically. We need to look at soul health. We need to take a step back. How can we better ourselves before it's too late? At the top of the cliff, literally way at the top in the car park, before we even hop out of the car, how can we better ourselves there? You see, success isn't just this surface level thing that we get by obtaining wealth. It's all those 5 elements that I talked about before that equal success. Now, my talk today was all about how to truly live a successful life. And we've looked at those 5 elements and how they all tie together to create a really strong table, a table that can withstand whatever life throws at us. But you see, the thing is life's all about working on those elements, using the experiences, using our past experiences in life to actually grow and mature you into the person that can care for your soul. You see, prior to my nanny experiences, I thought that success was just this one thing, financial success. If only I had more money, then I'd be successful. Only then would I be able to finally claim that title of success if I just earned more money and worked really hard. But I realized that wasn't true. My grandma actually said to me this quote, which I love, and it says, each day and each experience shapes you into the person that you will become. Using your past to help guide you into forming the future can be such a good way to just alter the trajectory of your life. Remember how you felt when you were hanging out with your friends and you laughed for the first time? Remember that feeling? Well, use that. Use that feeling to better your social health. Or remember that feeling when you were working out and sweat was dripping off your head and you felt really good. Remember that feeling? Well, use that. Use that feeling to better your physical health. Because remember, what you focus on is where your energy goes. If you start to focus on your soul health, your energy will start to follow. Remember to look after yourself. Remember to look after the table. Thank you.